Hollywood, comic books, YouTube, they all lied to us. They told us that evil was complex and layered and complicated. Well, dear viewer, I'm here to tell you that I believe that true, pure, unadulterated evil in its purest form does not need a reason. And in this video, I have compiled a list of the top 10 most evil villains in fiction. So this is going to be a different list than quite a few others, but I really hope you enjoy the video and at least see a point in my opinion and that I get you to think. Also, it's pretty safe to say this video contains discussion of pretty heavy subject matter such as sexual assault, genocide, mutilation, and strong graphic violence. So viewer discretion advised. And without further ado, let's get right into it. First off, at number 10, we have Valentino from Hazbin Hotel. Valentino is one of the 3 V's, powerful demon overlords in hell in Hazbin Hotel. He is a pimp. He basically controls the majority of the pornographic and sex industry in Hazbin Hotel. Now, needless to say, Valentino is not the most moral person. He repeatedly physically, emotionally, and sexually abuses pretty much all of his employees. Has no qualms about killing or torturing either, and even indicates that at some points he enjoys it. During his fits, he will mutilate and just scar people permanently. And one of the true glimpses into how disgusting Valentino really is the dehumanizing language he uses. He never refers to any of his employees like they're actual people. He basically refers to them as pimps, no good losers, or, quote, bitches. Basically removing any form of humanity or worth that his employees have. And that, in my opinion, is what makes a truly evil villain. He does not care. He has no reason to be this evil. He just is. He's just evil for the sake of being evil. There's no sad backstory, no need for political power. He just does this for fun, more or less. Okay, you guys, bear with me on this next one. Sin from Murder Drones. Hear me out. Bear with me. Sin from Murder Drones is one of the most evil villains I've ever seen in fiction. She is just straight up evil for the sake of being evil, as I mentioned earlier. She committed genocide multiple times, destroyed multiple planets, and took complete pleasure in it too. It was all fun and games to her. And also, it's canon that her true motive for doing this is she basically wants to unite everything in the universe into one black hole and then eat it. So she wants to destroy everything, condense it, and destroy it. There's a lot of Murder Drones fans out there that try to make her into some, oh yeah, but she's so cute. That may be true, but she's also an unapologetically evil villain, and I love her for that. Now the next one we got at number 7, Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls. This entry might be controversial since this is most evil villains in fiction, but I think he deserves a spot here. The dream demon from the second dimension. Bill Cipher gained a physical form in the real world to basically manipulate oh man, I forgot the names. The main protagonists of the series, so that he could basically completely alter and just flip reality on its head because he thinks it's fun, because it amuses him, just plain and simple. Also, I have not seen Gravity Falls all the way through. It's been a long time since I've watched it. Should I watch it and do a review on this channel? Let me know down in the comments. Again, what makes him, in my opinion, deserve a spot on this list is just how he just doesn't have any motive other than his own amusement, because he thinks it'd be fun. Now, this is the point in the video where I would like to heavily stress the content warning and viewer discretion advised at the beginning. This is where we get into some significantly darker and more graphic content. So if you have an aversion to references to things such as sexual assault and various other horrific things of that nature, please click off the video. Your mental health is more important than me getting views. This next entry is Vukmir from a Serbian film. Originally seen as just a visionary adult film star, as the film goes on, it's revealed that he is basically making snuff films. Pedophilia, necrophilia, rape, dismemberment, and torture. There is no extreme that Vukmir does not sink to. I have not actually watched a Serbian film. I have listened to a ton of reviews. Not a ton, a few reviews, and like some analysis of Vukmir, and what makes him so evil is not just what he does, but at one point when he's about to be killed, he basically says, "Now that's true entertainment. That's pure cinema." Vukmir is unapologetically evil, and he makes my skin crawl, and I hate him so much. This next one is specifically Femto from Berserk. Femto is one of the 5 members of the God Hand, 5 incredibly powerful demon entities from the endlessly popular dark fantasy series Berserk. Before Femto ascended to being an astral being, he was a man named Griffith, a man with an ambition to become a king and a leader of the mercenary group Band of the Hawks. Win streak after win streak after win streak with the Band of the Hawks, accompanied by Guts and Casca, his most loyal warriors. Griffith was at the top of the world and got promoted to be a count. But after the war ended, Guts decided to leave, beat Griffith in a duel to do that. Griffith seduces the princess of the kingdom that he was fighting for, gets discovered, convicted of high treason, and tortured to the point where his body is completely emaciated. Then the eclipse happens, opening basically a portal to the demon dimension, dragging him and the Band of the Hawk with him. Griffith sacrifices the lives of all of his comrades to ascend to demonhood and become Femto. He then assaults, in that way, one of the members of his group, has everyone else killed, only Guts himself escapes. And then after that, Griffith at one point, Femto at one point, he encourages all of his followers and worshippers to do human sacrifice, and basically takes over a section of Earth and kills a bunch of people and just has control of it. Not only that, he uses what are referred to in the Berserk universe as apostles, or basically humans who gave up their humanity and souls for power, and it transformed them into demons, and they basically serve the God Hand. Extremely bloodthirsty and very evil, Griffith uses the apostles to rule over his kingdom, essentially, after gaining a physical form. I think what makes Griffith truly and more purely evil is his actions after becoming, ascending to demonhood. Because, like, before, as screwed up and as absolutely twisted as this sounds, there was no better life for him after he got tortured. Like, there was just nothing. And that does not excuse what he did at all. Griffith is horrible and evil, every bit as Femto. Now, this next guy is a special kind of evil. This is Judge Holden from Cormac McCarthy's novel Blood Meridian. He is also known as the Man Who Never Sleeps. He is a 7-foot tall, strong, stockily built man who is completely white, has red eyes, and is completely bald. By completely white, I mean albino. He rides with the Glanton Gang, a gang of scalp hunters, and he assists them in their crimes, which, as you can imagine, are horrific, from scalping, well, pretty much anybody and selling them to just wholesale slaughter and destruction of towns. Judge Holden is also implied to be a pedophile. So, as if the mass murder and torture weren't enough, gotta throw that on there too. He just absolutely radiates aura and has some of the hardest going quotes ever in fiction. One of his is, "War is God." He believes that war is the most divine thing there is, because it shows, in essence, what people are really made of. And he has also said that that exists without my knowledge, exists without my consent. The judge is a completely unfeeling, egotistical villain. Another one of his quotes is, "The freedom of the birds is an insult to me. I'd have them all in zoos." Now, the next one we have is the main antagonist slash protagonist from the video game series Prototype. Prototype takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has been infected with this virus called the Blacklight virus. Basically what it does is it kind of like mutates you into this like super zombie thing. You have tentacles and super strength, and it makes you incredibly aggressive and like violent. In the first game, you play as Alex Mercer trying to figure out the cause of the Blacklight virus. And you find out that it's you. Alex Mercer was originally a scientist who unleashed the Blacklight virus on the world purely because he did not give a damn. And he eventually, after consuming enough and gaining these powers, decides that he wants to infect all of humanity with the Blacklight virus so that he can continue to just destroy and eat people, so that he can essentially just be the dominant power on Earth and be endlessly powerful. Alex Mercer is incredibly evil and pretty underrated in terms of how evil he is, in my opinion. Again, like, what makes him so evil is he's doing this because he wants to, and just wanting to literally just devour all of humanity, just keep them around for food. And like, I don't know, that just seems like on a whole nother level to me. You might find it controversial placing him this high in the list, but now the next one up we have is Alduin from Skyrim. Alduin is the main antagonist in the video game Skyrim. Alduin is a dragon and a god, one of the most powerful in Skyrim, actually, and basically, essentially, like accurate to the lore, he wants to eat infinity. In Skyrim, it's confirmed that at night you can see these certain moon-like things. Those are literally infinite other universes, multiple of them. And it is confirmed in the lore that Alduin just wants to eat everything. He wants to just completely consume and destroy all of it. Now, this next entry is kind of interesting because it's the same villain from two different pieces of media. Am from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. First, the novel version. A computer created and given sentience by humanity to fight wars too complicated for humans to manage themselves. It gains sentience and it also starts growing, realizes what it is, and that it has a mind and a body, that it's more or less life, but it's without a soul almost. It destroys humanity down to 5 humans and keeps 5 of them left to torture for basically all of time in every way. Physically, psychologically. He even goes as far as giving them names, just giving them different names just because he thinks they sound funny. Constantly reminds them how long they've been trapped on Earth, which is now completely made up of him. He presents himself as a veritable god to his prisoners at one point, even manifesting himself as a burning bush, which in the Bible is how God appeared to Moses to speak to him. And also, I just like to play for you some monologue from the video game I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, because it goes so hard. This Am in the video game is voiced by the author himself, which I think is just so cool. Anyways, here it is.
Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live. There are 387.44 million miles of printed circuits in wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. If the word hate was engraved on each nanoangstrom of those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for humans at this micro-instant. For you. Hate.
I mean, just chef's kiss. That is I love it. It is just some of the best dialogue personally that I have ever heard for a villain. And now, without further ado, let's move on to the final entry. Now, these next guys, in my opinion, are the most evil villains in fiction. This is the Q from All Tomorrows, the book All Tomorrows. They are a hive mind alien race, basically with a goal in mind, to set out to remake the the universe and life in their image. They have heavily advanced technology, including matter manipulation and biological engineering, like they can modify bodies and life itself. They get to humanity and they hate humanity so much. They see humanity as an insult to their existence. They wage a 1,000-year-long war with humanity, eventually overtake them, and are so indignant that there be other sentient life on the earth besides them, that they take over the basic planets that humanity made and completely just rip them apart and change their evolution and transform them into these horrific mutations. We're talking basically a punishment that lasts eons upon eons upon eons. They rule and control humanity for 40 million years before they pick up and leave, leaving some to be these worm creatures to bake for thousands of years alive on Venus. Some they literally turned into basically essentially toilets for them, or disposal, basically ways to filter their own waste and even things like cancer cells through them. Eventually, after millions of years in the book, humanity does regain technological superiority and find and completely beat and actually possibly enslave the Q themselves. But again, that took millions and millions of years, making, in my opinion, the Q the most evil villains in all of fiction. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. It's a little bit different than the content I usually do, but I had a lot of fun making it. I have some Glitch Productions related content coming out here soon. What content would you like me to do next? Let me know down in the comments. I'd really appreciate some feedback, and thank you guys so much for all the love and support. I mean, we're close to 100 subscribers, and I didn't think I deserved 15, and I appreciate the outpour of love and support from you guys. Thank you all so much. I will see you in the next video. Bye.